Dan pointing out SMRs bouncing off the 8. Trying to get through the 15. Yeah. It looks like it's pretty close to the 15 right there. Just remember now, it is kind of extended on the daily chart. But if you like it long, this is not a bad place. If you get a confirmation here that you're getting a bounce on SMR, you can switch over to a Fibonacci candle and watch it and see if you're going to get a bounce. So far, there was no confirmation. You need a flat bottom candle stick on the SMR in the 5-minute chart to give you a Fibonacci reversal. Okay. So watching to see if you can get a Fibonacci reversal in SMR. Get a regular candle reversal, but you don't have a Fibonacci. So if you want a confirmation that this bounce is real, you've got to wait for a Fibonacci candle. You got to wait for another candle on it. SPY still trying to move up here. Again, 591, getting pretty close to the resistance level. About $2, a little more than $2 away. Harry pointing out AMC very strong. Yeah, nice move up, and it's a big move in AMC this morning. Again, it's only a $4 stock, but it's up 23% in AMC. Entertainment, then it's breaking above the 200-day moving average. Another very bullish stock, coming off of a deep low here last week, 2 weeks ago, when it had some earnings. But this is a big move in AMC. And there's got to be something, there's got to be some news driving this thing. Look at the daily chart on it. You see this move here, really big. What, 11:30 right now? SMR, again, trying to put in a Fibonacci reversal. Let's see if it's got it yet. All right, so let's look at SMR in the 5-minute. We got it in 5-minute. Let's take a look at the candlestick setup. Let's look at Fibonacci. All right, let's explode this out. Look at it closer. Right, Fibonacci reversal right there in SMR. All right, see this flat top, wicks and tails, and gone to a flat bottom. It's actually a Fibonacci continuation from this original trend. Nice entry for SMR right here. It's just kind of extended on the day. That's a drawback with SMR. Remember, SMR put in a Heikin reversal. You see, it's not really ripping up here, but it's right on the 15. It's a decent entry at SMR, right here. Again, it's the caveat here is that it's very extended from the 8 exponential on the daily chart. That is my main concern with SMR. Here it is right here on the daily chart. There's your 8. Here's we are. We're about $7 above that. $7 above it with a ATR of about 3. So that's over 2 ATRs extended from the 8. That's a lot. So if you trade it, if you take it long, and I'm going to take it long right here, but I'm probably going to try to exit today. In fact, if I get any kind of a significant move here in the next couple hours, I'll take profits in it. But I did take SML long for June 6th. June 6th, $30 calls. June 6th, $30 calls. I paid $4.54 for them. It's pulling back a little bit here. Very, very compressed market, though. It's very compressed. Very compressed, as you can see. Here's the gap up. And we've been grinding up, but this is really compressed. I think I still get these in Fibonacci. Nope, maybe candles. So I took some SMR calls right here. But I think I'm going to try to day trade them. IBM, I took a loss on last week, breaking out. It's coming back down and trying to do a PBO here, pullback opportunity. Stays above the 8, it's good. Again, you notice I mentioned earlier that these 8 and 15s, you can use them in conjunction with each other. If it goes through the 8, a lot of times it'll hit the 15 and bounce as it did there. There's probably other cases you can find where that happened, but this is another one right here, and it's above the 8 right now. So decent one to look at a potential long, giving it a little bit of time. Again, I just took some more SMR. I took some SMR here right now for June 6th. I took the June 6th, what did I say it was? June 6th, $30 calls. June 6th, $30 calls. Paid $4.54 for them, they're $4.42 right now. Again, I'm not going to post it just because it's so extended. It's too extended on the daily chart. So if you trade it, try to do a day trade on it. Try to get out today. I'm not going to alert on it or put a post it there because it's just too extended on the daily, which is definitely a drawback to this trade. Everybody see my screen okay? Somebody told me there's a black screen right now. Does it look okay? All good? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Jay. Screen is fine here. Okay, cool. Yeah, it must have been a one-off for somebody. So it's the YouTube feed. Okay, let me look at that. That's weird. Huh. YouTube is blank. That's very strange. I'm going to kill the YouTube feed and see if I can start it again. Let's see if I can get that fixed here. I don't know why this YouTube feed is not picking up the screen over here. It's very weird. Sorry for that, YouTube. I don't know what the problem is. I have to go in and have one of the techs work on it. Yeah, I don't know there's a problem with YouTube this morning. I'm sorry for that. I'm not sure what's going on. I have to have a technician look at it, see what they can find out, but don't know why this is not showing up. Ryan, you're gonna need me to call it every tick for every stock. Yeah. SMR is the one I took just a bit ago as it came down off of the 15 EMA right here. So I'm in SMR, and I'm trading that. I took the June 6th $30 calls. Paid $4.54 for them. They're $4.83 right now. Again, I'm probably going to day trade this because the stock is so far extended from the 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart. And I'm still in the core view CRWV, the core view called debit spread for this week, the 117, 120. SMR working pretty nicely here. Again, you may use your own judgment on taking profits. Again, I got in at 454. It's trading at 497 right now, so it's up decently. It's up about 50 cents. So it's up about 10 or 11% right now. Omni, today's your first day here, just listening and learning how to manage the room and your verbal and written instructions. Also in touch with Rory about joining Discord. Very good, good, Omar. Yeah, he'll be able to get you a link for that. Peter, am I still in Zim? I'm out of IBM. I took an IBM loss last week. I said I didn't like the fact that I was out of the money on it and it only had 1 week to go, which is actually 4 days. But I wanted to look at it again today. I really like it long here. I'm thinking of going back into IBM on a swing basis. And am I still in Zim? I still am in Zim. Pretty disappointed in Zim. I'm probably going to have to take a loss on Zim. Swing trade's been very, very difficult lately. SMI, we had a nice win on this last week, but we'll try to do it again here today. Again, I'm probably going to take profits in this thing today. And I apologize on the YouTube folks. I can't. I don't know what the problem is with it, and obviously I haven't got time to try to work on it technically. I'm not a technician, and I don't really know that much about that YouTube feed, so I've got to get somebody else to look at it. Ryan, did I get an S-bet or I just called out watching to see if it bounces here? Would you feel more comfortable with a bounce off of the VWAP for this on S-bet? Yeah, I would, or the 88 exponential moving average. I think you can, if you want to trade it, I think a bounce above the 15 would be okay. This green line right here. I don't think you have to wait for the VWAP. But again, this is a momentum stock here. We're talking about a very risky stock, so just be careful with it. Again. Hey, Evan, good morning. Um, Hope I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I'm not sure if we need a visual for this question. What's the difference between a choppy market and a volatile market? Well, choppy market usually just means that the price is like the SPY is just chopping up and down above and below the VWAP with little candles, or not moving big in big distances. A volatile market, of course, would be huge moves up and huge moves down. If the size of these candles is huge and it's moving up and down very quickly, then that would be volatile. I mean, if you look at SBET, this would be considered volatile because these are massive candles. I mean, that goes from $45.60 to $49. That's $4 candles. These are $4 and $5. So that stock is volatile because it's moving big each direction. So volatile is basically the magnitude of the move, and the choppy would just be a stock that's just moving up and down, up and down, up and down, not really going anywhere. Volatile markets can be moving they can be moving up nicely, they can be moving down nicely, and you can trade them, but you've got to be very cautious with them, as opposed to like a trending, grinding market where you can stay in a trade a little bit longer. Volatile, you got to be very careful. You got to set your exits pretty quickly. Choppy market, best trading is just not to trade very much. Does choppiness mean that the price level doesn't respect technical levels as much as it does during the orderly price action? No, not really. I mean, the choppiness can be bouncing up, back and forth off of a resistance level, a support level, back to the VWAP, above the VWAP, below the VWAP, just moving up and down. But it still can be it can still be respecting the technical levels, but the moves are small. Yes, Amara, pulling back just a bit here now. I set my sell order in SMR at 50 cents above my entry level. I get in at 454. I've got a sell order at 504 in SMR. Core weave still not doing much here. Pretty much flattened out a little bit. SPY also flattened out here. Still moving up, but flattened a little bit. See the move up. Small candles though. Again, 591 is this resistance level on the SPY. 591. Again, I'm sorry for the YouTube folks that it's not displaying my screen. I don't know why that is. I use this, but I don't. I'm not a technician as far as YouTube is concerned, so I don't know why that is not displaying my screen. So I'll have to get one of the techs to take a look at it. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be back to normal. I'm going to keep it running because you can at least listen to what I'm saying if I call it any stocks. Hopefully that's some help to you, but I'm sorry you can't see the screen and follow along. This SBET, again, pulling back a little bit here. SPY, holding on pretty nicely. SMR bouncing back up again. Again, I got a sell order in it for $50, $50 of contract profit. Well, yeah, $50 of contract profit. I'm in at 454. I have a sell order at 504 on SMR, and I'm going to move it up right now to 524. 524. Monday, good day for you. William took more profits on SMR. Very good job. Amplitude and time frame. Yeah, it's a big move on SMR today. Again, it's very extended. That's why I just want to take profits here as I go up, as it goes up here. Again, I got in at 454. I now have a sell order at 524, and it's really close to that right now. It's probably going to exit before I can even get it changed in case I want to go to a higher level. But I'm happy with that profit. Still like it, but it's just so extended on the daily chart that I can't trust it, and not to have. I mean, think about it. Think about it from a standpoint. And this is an all-time high, and it may keep on continuing, but it's extended now, and it's probably going to continue to hit all-time highs. But there's going to be some profit taking here along the way. I mean, that's what I'm going to do here in a minute. So. All right, I'm taking my SMR off here. I just took it off for 512. In at 454, out for 512. Might keep going. But I want to bank some profits. Well, after 12 o'clock here. Lunchtime's coming up. This PDD, which pulled back pretty hard this morning. Big gap down on PDD. Off of earnings, see the big gap down here is huge. And that's trying to recover here now. PDD, I looked at doing as a straddle on it, but too expensive. It's about $5. ATR is about 580. Again, I took my profits in SMR. About 60 cents, a little more than 60 cents a contract. $60. NVIDIA moving up now, kind of compressed, and now it's starting to move higher again. Earnings tomorrow after the close. It's Tesla. Still like it long here. It's got resistance at 364 right now. Support at 347. So it's right in the middle between the support and resistance levels. Again, SPY getting close to the 591. It's still got a little ways to go yet. Again, I'm out of my SMR trade. Omar, you're new. I'm new to the room. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. By the way, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and that's what I'm here for. And also try to find some trades. William, you did our code package this long weekend to model the market. Requires some ridiculous programming skills. AI help made a model for the rest of the year with error bands. Error bands have absolutely, let me finish reading this. An absolutely humorous range, I'm sure. Listen, there's so much uncertainty in the market. The error bands are probably miles apart. Can go either way. Moral to the story: anyone who says they have model prediction for the market year is probably untrustworthy. How can anybody predict what the market's going to do when it's news driven like this? I mean, you've got news, you got economic information, plus the news, plus this tariff mess. This market is a mess to try to trade. And all in all, we're doing pretty well here. Like I said, I know lots and lots of retail traders since December who have blown up their accounts, got margin calls, and given up. Lots and lots and lots of retail traders. This volatility in this market with the tariffs off, tariff on, tariff off, tariff on, has basically just destroyed their accounts. William, SMR is a great one for alerts. You got one to pull back to the VWAP on the D1, EMA 8, EMA 8, EMA 15. Yeah, it is a good one, SMR. If you can find a good level. This was a good level we took it at, and again, I took profits in it. I'm just concerned about the extension from the on the daily from the 8 exponential moving average. A pullback on the daily to the 8 would be nice, but that's quite a long ways down. Because it's got its support at 2970 between where it's at now and the 8 exponential, which is way down at 27. So, where can you see the trades that are currently open? Don't have access to Discord. There is, if there was any trades open, Omar, they'd be posted right in here. I don't have any open trades right now. I closed all the trades last week. This market's been very chaotic to try to trade, so I haven't put any new ones on. Now, I did take an SMR today, but I didn't post it because it was just going to be a relatively quick day trade. I didn't post it because it's so far extended on the daily chart. There's too much probability of some sort of a pullback at some point. So I called it out in the room, and I told you what I took, and I told you what I paid for it, and I told you when to get out. But that's all I've done on that one so far. And I do also have a call debit spread on CoreWeave, CRWV, that I took this morning. But again, none of these are posted. I haven't posted any of these yet. I'm calling them out for people in the rooms who want to follow along, but I'm not posting them for a couple of reasons. CoreWeave is way too volatile, and SMR is a little too far extended, because I'm only trying to post the very highest probability trades. And when I've got a stock that's extended on the daily from the 8, it's okay for day trading, but it's very risky to take as a swing trade, which means I don't want to put it out on alert, because it's not fair to those folks that when I get in and out of something in 20 minutes. And CoreWeave is way too volatile and expensive for most people to try to trade, so I didn't post that, but I do call them out. When I find a trade that's a high probability trade we're gonna take, you'll see it right here. They look like this. Here's the NPH, KHC. We had a nice win in KHC last week, but this is what you'll see posted. This was buying the June 6, 28 puts for 205 to 210, filled at 210, sold it for 270 to 275. That's what you'll see. They'll be posted right down in here when there's any trades on. Take lunch here in about 15-20 minutes. And I apologize again to the YouTube folks that you can't see my screen. By creeping up here. Big gap up. It's been drifting up pretty nicely here today. Not much pullback. A lot of small candles though. Qs as well. Again, I'm out of SMR, in and out of SMR. Hope some folks followed me along on that one and took some profits. Again, I'm out of SMR. I'm gonna do a strangle on SMCI. This is going to be a strangle. And if you don't know what a strangle is, it's a non-directional trade. If you don't know what a strangle is, how it's set up, please just do this on paper. Don't do real money if you don't understand these. So I'm the strangle here. I'm buying the SMCI. These would be this week's. Okay, let me get my chart back. Let me get my situation up here. Oh, there we go, water. Okay, yes, I'm buying the May 30th. It's this Friday. Okay, May 30th. $43 calls. Again, these things move pretty fast. So if it moves up to 44, 43, you'll have to take a 43 call and a 43 put. Buy May 30th, 43 calls, and buy the May 30th 42.50s on the put sides. Puts. And you should be able to get filled for about 283. 283 is about 285. Stock's a little bit above the 42.75, which is what I was looking for it to be at when I took it. 43.75, which would be halfway between 44 and 43.50. That's why I took those two strikes. And again, for about 283 to 285 on those. Might have to wait to get filled on them. You might have to put the water in and let it wait. The spreads are pretty tight, which I'm surprised it doesn't get filled. But there's a lot of volume on these things. The $43 calls have got 10,000 contracts traded today, and they got an open interest of 6,400. So a lot of volume. But for some reason, I'm getting filled on some and not on others, and I don't know why that is, because the spread's pretty tight. So I get filled at 284 on these things, SMCI. All right, so I'm strangling SMCI. The strangle by puts and calls, looking for this is a non-directional trade. We don't care which particular way we don't care what direction the stock goes. We just want it to make a good move. So we got, and one of the reasons on this SMCI, it may react to the NVIDIA earnings. It might react to NVIDIA earnings, and I don't care which way it goes, but it's got some room here. The resistance on it is about almost $48 right now, and it's pretty much sitting on support. It would have to drop down, back down to about the 100 SMA. It's a bullish setup. It's a PBO right here. Okay, so I like it bullish, but with NVIDIA coming out, I'm just gonna take a strangle on the thing. So again, taking a $43 call, 42.50 put. So we don't care which direction it goes. We just want it to move more than $2 and some odd cents, 285 or so. And it has an ATR, by the way, of about 350. So would have liked to get in cheaper, but I can't. And I'm sure there's some volatility built into these premiums right now off of NVIDIA options, NVIDIA earnings tomorrow night. Marvel moving up. Again, Marvell's another semiconductor company. Earnings of 529. So they have earnings a day after NVIDIA does. So they'll like react to it as well. It's now 340. I guess it's too late to get the SMCI. What I would do on SMCI is I wait to see if it gets to 43. If it gets to 43 by the 43 call and a 43 put. 43 call and a 43 put. And I don't know. You say it's at 340. I don't think it can be at 340. Not for that strangle. No, that strangle right now is at 285. 285. So something's on that. Something's wrong on your strike prices or your expiration dates or something that would make it 340. It's no way that it's 340. If it was 340, I'd be selling it. You're probably on the wrong date. Omar, you want to invest 2,000 in the SMI strangle? How many crawls and puts should I take? Well, if it's going for 285, and you want to put 2,000 in it, divide 2,000 by $2.85, $285. All right. So what you've got is it's 285 per contract. All right. So you divide that by two. You divide that into 2,000, and that's going to tell you how many contracts to take. 7 contracts. It's always, it's not the number of contracts, it's how much you're paying for it. So if you want to put 2,000 into a trade, you have to divide it by the cost of the trade. So if it was $2, you'd get 10. It's 285, you can get 7. You don't have to go 2,000 into this either. You don't have to put that much money into it. Again, this is a very volatile, choppy market, and my recommendation right now is not to be using large size. You might want to just do half of that. Peter, yeah, that was too expensive. Yeah, I knew it was either the expiration date or the strikes that you were looking at. Okay, so I'm in SMCI now, and I'm out of SMR. I took profits in SMR, which is continuing on up, by the way. But again, I wanted to take profits before any potential pullback. I'm being cautious because it's so far extended. Again, that was a pretty nice trade. I get in 454. I get out at 514. Right now it's at 567, so I could have made more on that one. I could have made a full dollar on it. But that's hindsight, and it's very easy to trade in hindsight. Much more difficult to trade in foresight. Still haven't closed my core V yet. CRVW. Oops. CRWV. Dyslexia sets in. Yeah, core wave. Again, 117, 120 on that. Paid $1.25. Trying to get out at $1.60. Right now it's trading at $1.45. All right, coming up on lunchtime for me here. It's 12:30. I'm going to get something to eat, and I'll be watching the market. William. Carol, very good day. Happy to hear that. What's my thoughts on TSM? Well, you know, we got Nevada and NVIDIA earnings tomorrow, so it's bullish as heck. I mean, it's definitely bullish. It's got room to 205 here. Let's see what else the question is. You know, we don't trade earnings, but TSM has a good correlation with NVIDIA earnings. Yes, it does. In the past, been a useful straddle strangle. It would be a good straddle strangle if you can get it cheap enough. That's the whole thing. The problem with the straddle strangles on stocks that may react to NVIDIA is they're mostly too expensive. Now SMCI I took because it's likely also it has reacted to NVIDIA earnings in the past. So that's why that's the reason I took it, and it was inexpensive enough to justify it. So you say on NVIDIA earnings, as in the past, it's been useful straddle strangle strategy due to lower volatility assigned. Yeah, basically 195, 197 50s for less than $5 seems like a good one on TSM, less than $5. Yeah, it's got a falling ATR. The ITR is about 450. I still wouldn't want to pay more than about 450 for this thing. Maybe $4. $5 to me is too expensive, which tells me that it does have some extra volatility pumped into those options because of NVIDIA. So that puts, if NVIDIA has earnings and is flat, it's going to hurt. So that's why I want to continue to. For me, it's more important to pay a lower price than the ATR to limit my risk on something like that. Carol, good day. Even what I'm showing, you know, we've had some decent ones. I mean, SMR is a good one. I still like CoreWeave. It's tough to get filled on these things when you're trying to exit because the options are wide and but again, I'm holding it longs for the rest of the week, so we'll see what happens. And again, SMCI, the whole point of this is, unless we can get a profit at it quickly today or tomorrow, my point is to hold it over NVIDIA's earnings release, which will be after the close tomorrow, which would give us the pop up or down on Thursday. But if I can take decent profits for then, I will. All right, any other questions before I get some lunch? All right, gonna grab some lunch here. I'll go ahead and stop the YouTube feed. Again, I apologize to the YouTube folks that you weren't able to see my screen today. I don't know why that's like that. I'm gonna have the text look at it, but I don't know why it is. Ryan, SBET VWAP test. Let's look. Yep, it bounced off the VWAP. It's gotten pretty choppy here. It's gotten pretty flat. VWAP was about 41. Then it's up to 44 right now. It's pretty volatile. Again, volatile stock. Be careful if you're trading something like SBET. Be very careful because this thing can really, these candles can be huge. You see where it is now at 42. It was down here to the VWAP at about 41. And it's been that's a $12 drop, so be very cautious. This TMC we're just talking about moving up beautifully here. Nice pop in TMC. Gapped up this morning, pulled back, starting to bounce again. I'm sorry, that's the metals company. Sorry, I thought I forgot to talk about TSM, not TMC. Yeah, TSM is very bullish, but NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. NVIDIA into earnings, by the way, is generally is bullish into earnings. It is bouncing up today with a gap up. Ryan not liking the test so far on SBET. Again, it's a volatile stock. You gotta be very cautious with these things. It's trying to get above the VWAP. And you might want to look for a Heikin-Achi candle on it on the 5-minute chart. Reversal, you don't have one right yet. Right, so if you look at SBET, here's the bounce right there. But let's take a look at the candle styles. All right, here's Heikin-Achi. Expand that out so you can see it. No flat bottom. Okay, flat is a Heikin-Achi reversal to the bearish side or a continuation of the bearish side. Flat top, flat top, flat top. Looks like it's trying to reverse, but we haven't got a flat bottom yet. You've got to get a flat bottom candle on the Heikin-Achi candle right here off the VWAP. That's what you're looking for. And I showed that on the screen, Ryan, and I know you couldn't see it, but look on your screen, look on your chart, look for Heikin-Achi, set the Heikin-Achi, look for a Heikin-Achi candle on the SBET off the 5-minute candlestick here. It's going to have to produce another candle before you're going to get a Heikin-Achi reversal. All right, I'm going to grab some lunch, everybody. I'll be back in just a little bit. Thanks for all the questions today. A lot of great questions, a lot of good call-outs, and a lot of comments that I really appreciate. Nice big green on the SPY, Shy says. Let's look. Yep, big green bar right there. You see it stands out. Nice little move up. Again, 591 on the SPY is resistance. So watch, that's 591. Big nice green candle through the high of the day, breaking out of this compression here. Here we taking Palantir short. Yeah, it's breaking down. It's right on the 15 for me right now. Right on below the 8, right on the 15. I get nervous on going short on a stock like that when it's sitting right now. It could. Harry's an excellent trader, believe me. So I wouldn't take it just because it's sitting on the 15, which has been pretty good support on it. But I'm not gonna say that Harry's wrong taking it, because he trades these things all the time and he does a hell of a job on these things. So, but I wouldn't have confidence to do it. Let's put it that way. SPY pulling back a little bit here now. Kind of a pretty big candle there on the SPY. So just be cautious. It's coming out of compression. That doesn't mean that the SPY is going to keep you. You've got to have multiple greens after a move like that. As SMR coming back again. I'm out of there. Okay, I'm going to get some lunch, and I'll be back in just a little bit. Oh, all right. Lunchtime. Lunchtime. Ruthie's back. All done?
No,
No?
didn't work.
What didn't work? I thought you were just going to take pictures. There was other stuff.
No, the program did.
Program?
Mm-hmm.
Program on the tablet or the program?
The one I
Download?
downloaded.
No kidding. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. No shit.
Who do you tell? couldn't do anything about it. It's not even, it's a technical issue.
Looks like it.
Well, if the speed test was good, it's not the internet. And the internet, slow internet wouldn't make it not work.
Shouldn't, okay? So this is our thing. That was the speed test. This is the signals, right? Signal data unavailable. Or I uninstalled the program, I reinstalled the program, I tried everything.
Didn't work. I'm kind of running YouTube today, and the YouTube people say, I can't see a screen, and I'm looking at the YouTube. It's supposed to display my screen, wouldn't display it, so I said it turned to RAW